Police have released security footage of a man they want to trace after an NHS doctor was attacked on her way home from work. The 37-year-old victim, who has not been named, was taken to hospital after she was pushed to the ground from behind. Her attacker had been following her since she boarded a train at Shadwell in East London.
The Prime Minister is set to unveil a coronavirus warning system when he outlines plans tonight to gradually ease the lockdown.
The government drops the stay-at-home part of its slogan, instead urging us to stay alert.
Calls for a public inquiry into why twice as many black and ethnic minority people are dying from Covid-19 than white people.
Rushing to restart the Premier League could cost lives. That's the warning from Brighton's chief executive, Paul Barber, as clubs await the Prime Minister's address to the nation and what it means for the world of sport.
As the sun shone, police in Hackney in East London said they were fighting a losing battle to persuade people to stay at home. They said hundreds of people were out enjoying food and drinks. They tried to remind them that they should be only out for exercise. With the lockdown apparently fraying in some parts, Boris Johnson will tonight outline how it will be eased very slowly and very cautiously. Yesterday, the government said another 346 people had died with coronavirus in all settings, bringing the total death toll to 31,587.
The Bishop of London, Sarah Mullally, says she doesn't think that normal church services will resume until the end of the year. The Church of England closed all church buildings in March because of the pandemic, and last week 800 clergymen and women called for them to be reopened. Bishop Mullally said she understood such demands, but the church was following government advice to keep people safe.
And we start with the Telegraph because the Prime Minister, as we've been talking about, will ask the public tonight to stay alert, control the virus and save lives. That's as he addresses the nation later this evening. That in the Telegraph this morning. The new message will replace the government's previous slogan of stay home, protect the NHS.
Front page of The Observer, trade unions are warning the Prime Minister they will not recommend a return to work for their 3 million members or support his back-to-work plans unless health and safety is radically overhauled by the government and employers.
The Sunday Express, well, it says the virus threat is still at critical, but expects Mr Johnson to loosen some of the lockdown restrictions, but stopping short of fully unlocking the UK. The NHS, it says, is still considered to be in the danger zone.
Good morning. A summary of today's main stories from BBC News. A coronavirus alert system, similar to the one used to describe the terror threat, is expected to be announced during Boris Johnson's televised address this evening.
The Prime Minister will outline a roadmap towards easing lockdown restrictions in England and has also changed the government's slogan on coronavirus, advising us to stay alert rather than to stay home.
The trade association, which represents retailers, says it expects a gradual lifting of lockdown phased across different industries. The British Retail Association says the reopening of schools and transport networks needs to be a priority to ensure the majority of employees can return to work.
50,000 coronavirus test samples have been sent to the United States for processing because of delays in the UK. The government's blamed what it called operational issues in its new network of laboratories and has said capacity was quickly being restored. The test results will be validated back in the UK and communicated to patients as quickly as possible.
Police have expressed concerns over lockdown restrictions being ignored during the bank holiday weekend. Officers in East London said they were fighting a losing battle against groups having picnics in parks, while officers in Cumbria stopped several drivers who travelled from as far as the southeast of England.